Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name's Gabriella. I make videos about self-care, mental health, dating, style, makeup, life as an actor in LA. I do vlogs and basically whatever else I feel like talking about. So if that sounds like your jam, please stick around and subscribe. It means a lot. If you can hear the rain, great. I hope you enjoy it. It's my favorite type of weather. Although it has been raining in LA for several days straight, and the rain with the combination of kind of what's going on in my life and what's going on in the world is just kind of a lot. But I've made myself a big mug of hot cocoa and we are gonna do a little life update because I ended Vlogmas early. Oh, that's great. Before I go into all that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Ana Luisa. I work with Ana Luisa all the time. They are the jewelry company that makes the pieces that I wear on a day-to-day basis. They are a carbon neutral company, which means they offset 100% of their carbon emissions, which I think is huge. And they are certified. So it's not something that they're just saying. This has been recognized. And I think nowadays with layering your jewelry pieces and wearing a ton of jewelry and the layered necklace look and the curated ears, it can make people go toward inexpensive jewelry that's also totally made in an unsustainable way. And many companies are just making this jewelry. It's part of fast fashion. So I know that the tough part about moving away from fast fashion can be the cost, but Ana Luisa, their pieces start at $39 and they are pieces that you're gonna be wearing for years. And I can say that because I've worn mine for several years. Most of mine I wear in the shower and they're totally fine. I'm not sure if Ana Luisa themselves would recommend that, but I've worn mine in the shower and none of them have gotten ruined. And I just wanted to let you know that they're doing an end of the year sale. So from now until December 31st, they are doing 10% off of their pieces and then also up to 60% off of their last chance pieces. So this is a great time to buy. I love Ana Luisa because, as you can see, what I like to do is pick my own individual necklaces and create a special stack. And then I also have sort of curated my ears, but I have a couple holes that have closed up. So I have a bunch of cute little studs from Ana Luisa, but I need to go to the piercer and get some holes reopened up, like on this side and my third. But yeah, because their prices are so low in comparison to other brands that make the same kind of quality jewelry, you can really buy several pieces and kind of curate your necklace stack, bracelets, rings, things like that. So I wanted to let you in on that end of the year sale detail. I'll link everything down below. It is an affiliate link, so I very much appreciate if you use my link to shop. So hopefully that's a way that you can end your 2021 on a little bit of a high note. I know a lot of us are struggling, to say the least. A lot of us are anxious. The state of the world, it can kind of feel like a regression, or I know a lot of the trauma from the past 2 years is coming up. So it's a difficult time. So I just want to extend empathy to you and grace and permission to be kind to yourself, to rest, to not be at your like highest functioning. I feel amazing about myself. I feel happy all the time. I'm performing amazingly. I'm so productive. Like, if that's not you, I just want to give you permission to let yourself give yourself grace and know that most of us, I don't know anyone who is performing optimally right now, and we're not machines. So your productivity is not your purpose. So I just want to say that. And you can take it from me because obviously I'm a flawed human being. I can't do things perfectly. I put my mind to certain things and they simply don't always work out. AKA Vlogmas. I really wanted to vlog all 25 days until Christmas and, you know, get them up on time. But I remembered that last year when I did Vlogmas, I didn't have a job. YouTube was my only job. So all I had to do was film, and then I had the whole night to edit and upload, and it was no problem. And this year, I was working in a show. I was doing Love Actually Live at the Wallace in Beverly Hills Tuesday through Sunday. And on Saturdays and Sundays, we had 2 shows. So I would vlog all day, But then at night, I would have to go do a show and then get home at 11 p.m., be tired. I would need to sleep so that I could hopefully exercise the next day and do a show and keep my voice healthy. So I just want you to, you know, if I can extend any comfort to you. I was someone who, you know, things didn't go as planned either this season. So yeah, I have changed a lot over the past 2 years, as I think we all have. I just am really getting good at extending myself grace. Instead of beating myself up or saying, you know, my viewers are going to be so disappointed and they're gonna see me as imperfect and lazy and blah, 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 I just like respectfully was like, I don't care. Like, if people see me as lazy for not being able to do Vlogmas, oh my goodness, first of all, I mean, that's like negative thinking, firstly, because most of y'all that watch my videos are not like that. You're not accusatory and impatient and rude. So I'm like, it's fine. And I was doing the very best that I could. So I'm not really asking for your forgiveness right now. I know I keep rambling on about Vlogmas, but I'm just trying to like show you how my mind has grown in terms of like being nice to myself and forgiving myself and going with the flow when certain things don't work out the way you think they will, or you overcommitted to something. It's okay. It happens to all of us. So I hope you did enjoy the Vlogmas videos that were put up. I did have a lot of fun doing them, and definitely more vlogs to come in 2022. I have some huge exciting adventures and news that I am sitting on because I cannot share it right now. I know, I hate when people say that, but you'll know soon. But yeah, and I'm going to be bringing you along with me every step of the way if I can. So I just can't wait. So I'm in a bit of a weird place because I have a lot of major things that I'm looking forward to in 2022, but it kind of feels like the world is going to be on hold again, or I don't know. It's a bit of a sad, strange time. I also do want to extend grace to you if people are gaslighting you. If people are gaslighting you about prioritizing your health, if you don't really want to go out, if you're staying away from gatherings, if you are choosing to stay home from work to prioritize your health and your mental, that includes mental health, and people are kind of like, you know, they'll say like passive aggressive things like, let's start the new year with a little less fear, or, you know, stop worrying so much, or, well, we're all gonna get it. And I just don't appreciate that. And I just want to remind you that nobody is going to look out for your health and your well-being like you are. People will try to manipulate you into doing what's best for them. We live in a capitalist society. So as much as people can say, you know, we care about you, we're trying to keep you, like, you know, when your intuition knows when your best interest is not at, you know, in someone's heart, and listen to that intuition when it comes to taking care of yourself and your health this year and every year moving forward, regardless of what it is. You know, we work best when we feel safe. You know, we live the best lives when we feel safe. So do what you have to do to feel safe. And for me, it's staying away from gatherings. You know, it's not, probably not gonna see anybody on New Year's Eve. I canceled my trips. I had trips planned to Paris and Stockholm. I was supposed to leave in 5 days, and I've canceled those. It's a bummer because it's a real disappointment because I don't get my money back for those plane tickets, first of all, because when you try to buy discounted plane tickets, then, you know, you run the risk of having to cancel. And I really didn't think that this was going to happen with these numbers and with this variant, so I was like, I'm not gonna cancel. So that sucks. And then I was supposed to see my best friend in Stockholm who's pregnant, and I was gonna see her like a week before her due date and just take care of her and spend time with her, and I'm really disappointed. But Paris will always be there, Stockholm will always be there, and the next time I visit, I will get to meet my best friend's baby. So it's gonna be okay, and it'll be in a more happy environment, or more happy energy, you know, not traveling with a bunch of stress and things like that. So yeah, it's just been, I'm in a weird sort of limbo, dealing with the, you know, the difficulty of the past couple of years, but also looking forward and knowing that incredible things wait for me, and just hoping that the world doesn't shut them down. If they do, I understand, because speaking of which, the show that I was in, Love Actually Live, closed officially Monday. I think we got the email. They did, it was difficult. You know, the first couple weeks of the run were amazing, were great. I did the show 2 years ago, before the pandemic, and it was wonderful. And then, you know, the numbers started spiking, people started getting sick, and my intuition started telling me, like, everybody's gonna get sick. And a lot of people would say, you know, like, we're all gonna get it, don't be fearful. Again, like, I'm not paying attention to gaslighters. I know what's best for me. And I just was like, you know, watching all of these Broadway shows shut down, and all of my other friends that are in theater, all their shows were shutting down. Either that or they had gotten sick and had to stop working. I just was like, we shouldn't be doing this. So long story short, I was exposed for 2 straight days very closely to someone who tested positive. So I called out of work because I was like, I have tested, you know, rapid negative, but I could very much, you know, test positive in a couple days. So I stayed home, and then by the time that I, you know, had isolated for a while and would have felt comfortable going back to work, several other people got sick. It just wasn't good. So they were, you know, trying to fly people out to replace people, and it was this whole, you know, mad scramble to keep the show going. And I know it's disappointing after the past 2 years that this has shut a show down again, but this isn't permanent. I have optimism, but I also think that it needs to be taken seriously, and that, you know, the more responsible we are and thoughtful of other people's health and health of employees and health of actors, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We did a PCR test, I think on Sunday or Monday. A lot more people came back positive. So the show was just, I guess, unable to go on. And so we were supposed to have shows like all up until New Year's Eve. So the last week of our shows were canceled. But honestly, you know, I feel safe knowing that I'm home and not around like 25 other people and having to kiss somebody and hold hands and sing. And it's just like, it would be one thing if I were going to work and was able to wear a mask, but I wasn't. So for me, that I know that this is the right decision. Other life updates, I mean, yeah, I just cannot wait for 2022 in terms of the things I'm going to be able to share with you and the adventure that I'm about to go on. Like, you are not going to believe this. Everything else is good. Mochi got groomed yesterday, and it is raining. It rained all the night through, which was actually amazing. Like, that never happens in LA. The whole night while I was sleeping, I think. I mean, obviously I was sleeping for most of it, but raining. It is the day before New Year's Eve. I feel a bit melancholy, but I feel hopeful. I'm just in a resting period, you know? I'm not pushing myself, and I'm just reflecting. And that's why I really love New Year's Eve. I think it's my favorite holiday, maybe. I mean, I never really do anything crazy or fun. I've never done like an extravagant New Year's Eve, but it's the idea of it is a fresh start and hope for the future. And that's like the most powerful thing in the world to me, besides love, is hope. This year was hard. I mean, I learned a lot about what I need in love, what I need to make me feel loved. I learned so much about setting boundaries. Not only that, but asserting myself and my needs. Not putting others' feelings before mine. I mean, again, I'm the only one that's really gonna look out for my feelings the way that I do, and no one else is responsible for my feelings or my health. So I better start advocating for myself. So yeah, this past year, I mean, just in the past couple months, I did some things that my past self never would have dreamt of, like being able to do alone, in terms of standing up for myself, getting out of situations that I knew I shouldn't be in, or yeah, just wanting better for myself. I learned that when you say like, I'm not gonna let I could love this person if I let myself. But you know that feeling when you meet someone, you're like, oh man, if I let myself, I could fall in love with you. That's BS. There's no letting yourself or not letting yourself fall in love with someone. It just happens. That's love. And it's life, and it hurts a lot of the time, but you know, vulnerability for me is a prerequisite to living an amazing life. And that's another thing I learned about love this year, is some people are not willing to be vulnerable, and I hope that some people learn at some point through their lives that love, true love, deep love does require vulnerability. Transformational love does require that you show up and you say, yeah, I'm gonna put myself out there. I might get hurt. All things could go wrong. They could leave me, they could cheat on me, I could leave them, I could cheat on them, I could do the You could go through all the variables, things that could happen. But that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. It's just choosing them today, and if it feels good, the next day, and if you're both happy, the next day, and if it continues to feel good the next day, it's, yeah. And we don't choose who we fall in love with, and that is sometimes the magic of life, because you will fall in love with people where you're like, I would have never called that, but you have woken up a part of me that I thought I didn't have anymore as an adult. Yeah, I know I'm being vague, but I'm cautious about being specific anymore, because, you know, that type of vulnerability where people can be like, I know the names of all the people, and I know the history of this, that's like, you know, that's me protecting my peace. But yeah, I dealt with some good old-fashioned holiday heartbreak, and it made me feel alive, actually. I am getting pretty good at just accepting whatever life throws at me. Controlling what I can control, you know? Doing the best that I can in any moment. But like, life is gonna throw curveballs, and sometimes you just have to laugh. Sometimes it's just funny. We never know how things are gonna work out, and that is the beauty of life, is that it is not in our control. And love is a force that cannot be harnessed, cannot be tamed, cannot be controlled. Love is like a force of nature. You know, it's like trying to control wind or a tsunami. You just can't. Nature can be beautiful, but it can also destroy, and that's the same thing as love. And yet, after the destruction, we come out and we are like stronger than ever, or we learn how to build a better foundation, right? So that the natural disaster doesn't take down our whole home next time. And yeah, and I'm learning to build better without building more walls. This is a whole sort of like simile to construction. I don't know, but you know, build a better foundation without building more walls. And that's the key. Know yourself. Through every destruction, through every disaster that love can cause, know yourself better. Learn how to take care of yourself, how to cope, and that way you can continue to love, and you're not shut off to it, but you are more connected with yourself and more grounded and less shakeable. And then I think I would love a love that shakes me to the core, that doesn't feel like I'm gonna fall down and be destroyed by it, but I would love to be able to have a love that shakes me to my core, and yet I know myself so well and I'm so grounded in myself that I'm like, I'm just gonna enjoy this. I don't know, I just went off on a whole tangent. I hope it made sense to some of you, but if it didn't, you know, thank you for watching. So I really have just learned a lot in the past year. I got to do theater after, you know, a year and a half or whatever it was. I did so many amazing shows. I did American Mariachi, Tarantino, Mamma Mia, Love Actually Live. I think those are the only shows that I did. Well, not the only, but 4 shows in a row was pretty awesome. Yeah. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Just one day at a time. And hey, now I'm into K-dramas, so life has gotten really good. Wow. I love consuming art from other cultures because you get lost in like the world of K-drama, for example, and then I forget, like, there's such cultural differences. Like, I'm watching Guardian or Dokkebi, Goblin, whatever, they changed the name a million times, with Gong Yoo as like the lead guy. First of all, I saw him in Squid Game. The first time I laid eyes on him, I was like, literally the wind was knocked out of me. That man is not of this realm. That man was sent to destroy me. Speaking of which, you know what? He can destroy me. He can be a tsunami and just destroy my house, because break my heart, please. He is, wow. So when I found out he was the lead of the show, I'm like, I don't care if it's bad or good, I'm watching it. Turns out it's amazing. But if it were an American show, like in English with American actors, it would probably not do well here, because Americans are like, we're ashamed that we like romance in the cult. Like it embarrasses a lot of us. It's cheesy. And also a lot of, I've noticed, no spoilers really, but like a lot of US romance shows or shows that focus on love between people, it's very physical based. Like they kiss right away. The characters are like jumping in bed very soon. It's all about that chemistry. Like, oh, when we finally kiss each other. And this show is just like love at a close distance. And that is what breaks my heart. And it is like loving someone for who they are and their energy, because you don't have to touch somebody to love them. You don't have to kiss somebody to love them. My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close and yet so far. Oh, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I love that song. Yeah, I'm also hoping to bring more of my personality on my channel. I think the vlogging helps, but a lot of my friends who watch my channel, they're like, oh, you're a very like specific version of yourself on social media. And I'm like, really? But that's because ever since I was little, like family and people I went to school with, people were always watching me on social media. They found out about it and either they would laugh about it or they were excited. So I felt like I had to like be the most palatable version of myself on social media. I don't really feel that way anymore, but I guess it's just a habit. Like I know what to censor about myself and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I'm hoping that we learn more about each other in the new year, even if you've been on this channel for months or years, or even a decade. Anyway, yes, K-drama, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's soft and tender and beautiful. It makes me feel safe. And that show's the perfect one to watch while it rains, because that's a constant theme in the show. And Gong Yoo is just, I will learn Korean for that man. Whew. Anyway, that's my end of the year life update. Now I'm gonna go film favorite makeup of 2021 and favorite fragrances of 2021, which will be out very soon. So I love you. Have a wonderful new year. However you choose to spend it. Even if you're alone, you're not alone, because I'm gonna be alone too. Love you guys so much. Very, very much. Thank you for a wonderful year, and we made it through. Somehow we made it through. I will talk to you in my next video. I will talk to you next year. Wow. Love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye, guys.